Hello all and welcome to the Change of Major or Add Minor workshop for the Department of Design and Merchandising. So today's workshop is really going to cover a few things that you can see laid out on today's overview, including our math policy for the department. All of our majors and our minor do require a certain level of math, so we'll cover that. If you have not yet completed your math requirement for the university, I'll talk through how you can actually go about that. If you might have completed math for a different major or a different requirement, we will talk about what we actually require. We'll also talk about the apparel merchandising major in depth, along with the pre-interior architecture and design major, which is the pathway into the interior architecture and design major. We'll talk a bit about the merchandising minor, and we'll talk about DM advising policies and our procedures within our office. We'll talk about opportunities that are specific to our students, and then we'll kind of go over how to read our curriculum check sheets, which you will all have PDF access to as well. Then you'll have the opportunity to decide if you're actually ready to change your major or add the minor. Okay, so the math requirement. So if you have not yet completed your math requirement for the university, I would recommend that you just go ahead and complete what's required for our majors, or if you're pursuing our minor, our minor. So we do require Math 117, 118, and 124. That goes for both of our majors, as mentioned, and our minor. So again, if you have not already done so, I would recommend that you take the math placement exam to discover what your math eligibility is. If you are not eligible for Math 117, I would recommend that you actually retake it. I would also recommend that you review and practice for the math placement exam if you have not taken it before or you're seeking to retake it. Before you retake the exam, you should certainly review algebra, logarithmic, and exponential functions in depth because that's going to be the focus of what we want to see from you. Once you've taken the math placement exam, or if you're about to, make sure that you bring a calculator with you. You have 2 proctored attempts, meaning that you can come into the CSU PACE Center to take the exam twice if you have not already when classes are in session. This might be different due to what's happening for us right now with COVID-19. So definitely check out their website, which is this link below, to see what their hours might be or what alternatives there might be for an in-person proctored exam. If you've taken the placement exam twice and did not place into Math 117, your other option is to do the entry-level mathematics tutorial, and you can find that also on this website below. That will allow you to go through some online tutorials and then take an exam to hopefully place directly into Math 117. So if you've already taken math, let's pretend you've taken through Math 126 or you've taken Math 141. Great. We'll take anything that's higher than that 124, but we do need to at least have Math 124 on your record. Now we'll transition to talking more about the majors. So in our department, we have 2 different majors, apparel and merchandising and pre-interior architecture and design that leads into interior architecture and design. Our first major, apparel and merchandising, is a Bachelor of Science degree with 120 credits required for graduation at minimum. Within this major, we have 3 different concentrations where you can kind of dive deeper into your specialized interests within the same industry. The first of the concentrations is apparel design and production. Apparel design and production is largely focused on garment construction and concept development. As we're thinking about how you might ideate an entire line of clothing, a designer is really diving into things related to that process. So thinking about what the inspiration is and how to go about creating it. Our students learn how to sew, they learn how to do pattern making, they learn fashion illustration, and they dive into computer automated design as well. In order to declare this as your concentration, you do need to go through what we call an ADP progression process or portfolio review. This is a selective advancement process that happens every spring. You do need to have a 2.5 cumulative GPA in order to be eligible, and you do need to be engaged in AM courses in order to participate in this. Typically, our faculty are looking at about 20 students who will move on into the second year of the ADP concentration, or Apparel Design Production concentration. This is for many reasons. We want to make sure that you have a solid experience in the classroom. We don't want to have 40 students in the class. That takes away from some of that great in-depth learning that you'll get. Additionally, we want to make sure that you're safe within our small sewing studios so that we don't have any risks around safety. The next concentration is merchandising. Merchandising is really looking at some of those larger business pieces of the industry, along with how consumers are engaging with the product. So our merchandisers are thinking about consumer behavior, how to actually go about consumer research, understanding merchandising processes related to pricing, and understanding more of those business pieces. So our merchandising students actually take 5 of the 8 business minor courses as a part of their curriculum. The last of our concentrations is product development. Our product development students focus a little bit more on the business and supply chain aspect of the industry. Our product development students also do learn how to sew, do a little bit of fashion illustration, and dive into computer automated design as well. However, they're looking at it from a different perspective. A designer is looking at the concept, and a product developer is looking at how to make sure that there's a streamlined process to actually putting the product into production. Our product developers are typically working with manufacturers, so understanding things like trade deals, textile apparel economics, and really understanding quality assessment is critical for our students. They also dive into some of those key business pieces as well to really understand them more in depth. So they will take 3 of the business minor courses. In order to declare a concentration in merchandising and product development, you actually just need to write the words on a line. So we'll move to that part of the workshop towards the end if you're interested in either one of those 2 concentrations. We are accredited by the Textile and Apparel Programs Accreditation Commission as of 2019. We are the first school in the nation to be accredited by this commission. Essentially, what that means is that there's a stamp on your degree that your faculty are meeting a set of standards set by researchers and leaders in the field of textile and apparel programs. Our other degree in the department is pre-interior architecture and design, which leads into our actual degree of interior architecture and design. This is also a Bachelor's of Science degree that requires 120 credits at minimum to graduate. This program does have a selective advancement process for all students who might be interested. This is called the design scenario. The design scenario happens every spring, and it will be happening this April. In order to be eligible for design scenario, you do need to complete these eligibility requirements that are listed below the April date. So INTD 110, which is a course we offer in our department here, is required, along with INTD 129, INTD 166, and a minimum of a 2.5 cumulative GPA. The design scenario is a practicum experience where you're integrating all the skills that you're learning in the classes mentioned previously and showcasing them in a unique way. Your faculty then decide who will move on into the second year of the interior architecture and design program, moving from pre to interior architecture and design. Our interior architecture and design program is accredited by the Council for Interior Design Accreditation, and it does hold a little bit of weight. It means that you can actually go out and be eligible to sit for your licensing exam as an interior designer much faster than coming from a program that was not CETA accredited. Much like our TAPAC accreditation for apparel and merchandising, essentially this means that your faculty in your program meets a set of standards set by folks within the interior design field. Our department does offer one minor. It is a minor in merchandising. This requires 22 credits, and we do have 6 additional courses required as prerequisites for some of our classes. This includes Math 117, 118, and 124. So back to our math conversation. Through merchandising, you will gain an understanding in various aspects of the industry. We highly emphasize global. We also dive deep into the cultural and historical aspects of the industry. We focus a lot on the economic and scientific aspects of the industry, and we also take a peek into what the process of apparel and textile design looks like, how to go about sourcing and production, and then we really lean into retailing of consumer goods and marketing. In the Department of Design and Merchandising, we do require our students to meet with us both in the fall and in the spring. In the fall to prepare for your spring registration, and in the spring to prepare for your summer and fall registration. This is what we call peak advising. We have a mix of both staff and faculty advisors that help you through this advising process. The way that you schedule an appointment typically is through our appointment scheduler, and I've included the link down below. Some advisors will have different policies, so it's critical that once you get assigned an advisor within our department, that you follow up with them to see what they prefer. The role of your advisor is to release your advising code once you have met with them. We do restrict your registration because, again, we do want to meet with you and make sure you're making satisfactory progress towards your degree completion. We're here to help guide you as you plan out your degree program. We're here to help you understand what student success indicators mean and what they are. For example, one is having your math and composition requirements done by the first 30 credits. There's evidence to show that students who are able to do that are likely to be more successful. Additionally, we're here to help you think through anything else you might want to add to your academic experience here at CSU. If you're interested in study abroad, we will help you think through where you'd like to go and what opportunities are available for you, and then you'll move on to work with education abroad once you've kind of figured that part out. If you're interested in undergraduate research, we're also here to help you think through whose team you could best serve on. What you're responsible for is knowing what to take. You all have curriculum check sheets, and that is going to be the same until you graduate. It's important for you to understand if there's an update to your check sheet and to be sure to follow that. We also expect that you're checking the advising doc. I'll talk about the advising doc in just a second and show you a screenshot of what it'll look like. We expect that you use your degree progress audit that you can access via RamWeb. We also call this DARS within our CSU community. This is your official record with the institution, and it'll show you exactly what you need to complete and exactly what you've already completed. We also expect that you understand what the prerequisites are for all of your course requirements. You can see that reflected on your curriculum check sheet. We want you to come prepared with your check sheet and a registration plan to any meeting you have with your advisor, and to be on time. We expect professionalism within our department, and we want you to treat this advising session as a business meeting. So this is a screenshot of the home page of our Canvas advising doc. We do have a Canvas course page that all students will get added to that are part of our majors that offers you 24-hour access to resources and information regarding your specific course of study. Our minor students are not added to this advising doc. Additionally, our minor students are not required to meet with us any further than this meeting. You're more than welcome to meet with us as you need if you are a minor student, but we don't require it. The advising doc has tons of resources specific to your major and to our department. You'll see with this screenshot to the left of the screen that there's an example of a menu of what information can be found. We have lots of information regarding academic policies and resources, advising, apparel and merchandising, College of Health and Human Sciences, which is the college we're part of, along with a navigation link back to this homepage, interior architecture and design, which does include pre-interior architecture and design information, involvement in leadership opportunities, and study abroad information that is specific to our 2 majors. Students within our department have some access to some unique opportunities to get face-to-face with industry before they even leave CSU. We do this formally through what we call study tours. We go to New York every other spring break to do a week-long field study. Here we visit studios, firms, showrooms, museums, and magazine publishers. This trip is typically offered with both majors in mind, apparel merchandising and interior architecture and design. We visit, again, studios, firms, showrooms, and museums, typically with our alumni that are within those spaces, so our students can connect with them and learn about what it is that they're doing in real time. We also do some fun things like attend a dinner cruise and a Broadway show. We do this on a larger scale for a couple of weeks instead of just a week internationally. 2 years ago, in 2018, we went to the United Kingdom and really studied the slow fashion process. This summer, we were planning on going to China to interface with researchers and professionals there, and we hope to continue that in the future once we know what's going on with COVID-19. We connect with industry domestically more than just a study tour. We also send our students that are a part of Fashion Group International to Magic every single year in the summer at Las Vegas. Magic is a large trade show in the fashion apparel industry. We also go to Outdoor Retailer annually that's located here in Denver, Colorado. Outdoor Retailer is focused on athletic and outdoor wear. So things like North Face, Columbia, Smartwool, Fjällräven. We interface with alumni there to learn more about what it is they do within those spaces. In 2018, 44% of design and merchandising students participated in study abroad programs of some sort. We're happy to help you think about how you might want to get engaged internationally. This can look like a quick summer program, a winter break program, a spring break program, or a full semester program. Both of our majors do require an internship experience as a part of the curriculum. On both curriculum check sheets, you'll notice that the internship requirement is listed in the fourth year spring. This is a 12 credit, 50 hours per credit internship, typically about 40 hours a week, full-time, with hands-on experience within your industry of interest. We do offer a professional practice seminar to help you think through how you might prepare for this search process and embark on this new part of your academic journey. There is an internship coordinator for both sides of the program, both of which are also your faculty members. They will help you think through where you'd like to see yourself in the industry and what would make sense as you search for this internship opportunity. The great thing about having this internship listed last within your curriculum is you have the opportunity to intern anywhere. We highly recommend that you get engaged in your academic experience both inside the classroom and out. We have several different student organizations made up of our students from both sides of our department, both in apparel merchandising and interior architecture and design. The first is the Design and Merchandising Leadership Team. They focus on community building, recruitment, and really bringing the two majors together. We also have Fashion Group International, which is a professional development organization that partners with the Fashion Group International Professional Chapter in Denver. They attend several events, and they also partner with Fashion Report Colorado. American Society of Interior Designers is focused on community outreach and networking with the professional chapters of American Society of Interior Designers. Design for America is actually interdisciplinary, meaning anyone from any major who might be interested is welcome to join. They focus on social impact that can be solved through design. International Interior Design Association is a worldwide professional network, and they partner with the Rocky Mountain chapter to participate in professional development and networking events. The Student Hospitality Network is focused on networking, gaining professional connections, and understanding what it looks like to do interior architecture and design within the hospitality industry. things like boutique hotels, resorts, and restaurants. Okay, we are nearing the end of our workshop, but before we close, it's critical that you understand how to read our curriculum check sheets. I've referenced these several times throughout the presentation, and now I'll finally break it down to show you how to interpret it on your own. Each of our check sheets is laid out the same way. You might be interested in a different concentration rather than what we have presented here, which is apparel design and production. And you might actually be looking at an interior architecture and design check sheet. Each of them are kind of laid out in the same exact fashion, however, so follow along regardless of what you're looking at. This first column here indicates what the course prefix and course number along with course title is. You'll also see that there might be an F, an S, or both, or none, right by the course prefix, number, and title. If you see an F, it means that course is only offered in the fall. If you see an FS, it means it's only offered in the fall and spring. If you see an S with no F, that means that course is only offered in the spring. If you don't see either an F or an S, it means that that course is being offered both fall, spring, and during our summer session. The next column is a prerequisite column where that red bubble is at the top of your screen. You'll notice for most of our first set of courses in the first year, there's not a ton of prerequisites. If there is, it will be listed there. Keep in mind that prerequisites mean you will need to complete that course or requirement prior to enrolling into the class to your right. The next column is the credits column. If you jump over to the left side of the screen, you'll notice that we have calculated the credits for each of the classes, and we've created a generic sum at the bottom. This sum will look different depending on what you're actually taking that semester. So now we've switched to the interior architecture and design check sheet, but again, it follows the same format. On the right side of the screen, you'll notice a red bubble is now over the AUCC column. If the course is an AUCC, it will be indicated with the category in this column. Next, to the left of the screen, you'll notice the red bubble is over the notes column. The notes is up for you to use however you'd like. The way we use it in our department is to determine what grade you got in what class, and also plan out and project when you plan to take what class and when you would like to do that. Last but not least, you'll notice there is an asterisk by some classes. At the very bottom of the page on the left side, you'll notice that the asterisk then details what grades are required for what courses. Some of your courses will require a grade of a C or better in order to earn credit for the major. So now that you've heard all about our majors and our minor, you now have the opportunity to decide if you would like to go ahead and declare. If you would like to, there's a PDF that is a change of major or add minor form, and you'll fill out the top half. In a second, I'll show you exactly how to do so. If you're still thinking about whether or not this is the right choice for you, I would recommend that you still fill out the top half of the form, but let me know. I can hold on to it and then submit it as soon as you know for sure that you would like to declare. Okay, if you listened to the entire workshop, you're probably pretty tired of hearing me talk at this point, but I promise we're almost done. If you are ready to declare, or even if you're on the fence, I would recommend that you go ahead and fill out the highlighted information first. On that PDF change of major add minor form, you're going to fill out your name, your last name first, your first name, your middle initial if you have one, your CSU ID number, the date, your signature, your current major, and your class standing. Once you've done that, then it gets a little tricky, so please pay attention to the following prompts. If you would like to declare apparel and merchandising, you will first put APAM in the top box right under your personal information. You'll check Change First Major to AP/AM. If you would like to go ahead and declare your concentration to merchandising or product development, then you will actually check the box, in addition to change the first major, add a concentration of either MDSZ if you're interested in merchandising or PDBZ if you're interested in product development. Again, as a reminder, if you're interested in apparel design and production, you do have to go through their selective advancement process of portfolio review before you can declare that concentration. If you're interested in apparel design and production, just put AP/AM and change first major to, and let me know, and I'll be sure to highlight that. If you are interested in changing your first major to pre-interior architecture and design, you'll go ahead and change your first major to IAD 0. Make sure it's clear that the 0 is a 0 and not an O. If you want to add a minor, then you aren't going to change your major, so be sure not to actually change your major. But you will check the box that says Add Minor of, and then type in MDSQ. So some of you might actually be interested in adding one of our majors as a second major. If that's the case, you'll check the box that says Add/Change Second Major to, and then list either AP/AM if you're interested in apparel and merchandising, or IAD 0 if you're interested in pre-interior architecture and design. Keep a reminder that if you're interested in apparel or merchandising and you know that you want to concentrate in either merchandising or product development, make sure you add that concentration of as well. Once you've filled out this form, please take a picture or scan it back to me so I can then get it processed and make it official. Congratulations, you've made it through the entirety of the Change of Major Add Minor workshop, and I'm happy to welcome you to the Department of Design and Merchandising. Whether you chose to actually declare your major or add a minor today or not, I'm happy that you spent the time to think through if this might be a possibility for you.